All right, here we go. We
Yes,
have one of the
sir.
greatest rappers of all time in the building. I will say that proudly. Beanie Sigel, welcome back to VladTV. It's been 11 years.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time, man. A lot has happened.
Yeah.
So we've done other interviews before, but I want to get the whole story. So we're going to start in the very beginning.
Which story?
Your story.
What whole story?
The story. The story.
There's a lot of them.
Well, let's get started then. Born and raised in South Philly.
Yes. Born and raised in South Philadelphia. Yeah.
What was that like in the 80s and 90s?
South Philly, the 80s and 90s? Adventurous. I would say adventurous. You know, South Philly, it's a part of Philadelphia that seems to sometimes get a bad rap in Philadelphia, people who don't know. I would say I'll put South Philly like this. If you could compare New York and Philadelphia, I think South Philly, we would be considered how people look at Brooklyn, like we Brooklyn, South Philly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. So you grew up mostly with your mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
my mom.
You had how many siblings with your mom? Was it 4?
Yeah, 4 of us. It's 4 of us. I got 1 brother and 2 sisters. Yeah.
Okay. And your dad?
Yeah.
Was he around? You had a relationship with him?
Nah, he was around, but he wasn't around. Relationship really wasn't there.
Okay.
I got relationships with my other brothers and sisters, though.
Okay.
I would say he wasn't there, like, we were caught in the crossfires between him and my mother's beefs, whatever their beef was. So, like I said, he was there, but he wasn't there.
Okay. And your dad had a bunch of kids?
Yeah, you know, telling.
And you don't even know how many?
Probably like 5 or 6 that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never worried you might accidentally date your sister or
Nah.
that kind of thing?
Nah.
Not knowing that it's
Seen
your sister?
something like, I just saw something like that on
Yeah,
Instagram.
that's a real thing.
Married and everything.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Kids. That's crazy.
Okay. And were you raised Muslim at home?
No.
No.
Nah.
Did that come later or?
Yeah, that came later in life. Things just didn't add up. Like Islam made more sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And Sigel Street, that's a street close to you?
Yeah, that was a street close to where we lived at.
Okay. Was there a significance of that street?
As far as...
Well, I mean, you named yourself after the street, so...
yeah, that's my block.
Okay, so that's the
Street.
block you hung out on and
Yeah.
everything else like that. Okay. Got it.
21st and Sigel, yeah.
Okay. So during your teenage years, you got into a little bit of trouble?
Shit, I've been getting in trouble since 9 years old. Juvenile policeman.
What happened at 9?
I think like a robbery or something. Something like that.
Okay. But at 14, you got locked up and you went to the farm.
Yeah, Slayton Farms. Yeah, I got locked up 14. I think that was probably the same thing, like robbery, assault, something like that. Yeah.
Why do you think that you were getting involved in robberies during that age?
The people I hung out with, I was I mean, in layman's terms, I was a crash dummy. You know what a crash dummy is?
They would send you out on missions and...
Yeah. I was the young kid that, like, my age group, who I hung with, I was the one that was allowed to hang with the older cats. So I used to do stuff. That was South Philly. You know, I don't know what I contribute to. I guess single parent household, just wanting to be out there and seeing a lot of things. Like you asked me about the early 80s and the 90s. The 80s was, crack hit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to school and I'm seeing people driving to school and Benz 190s and,
That was the car back then. I remember
that was
the
a car
190,
back then, the 190s and the Jettas and all that. And it's like, and this nigga in my classroom and what is you doing? And you seeing that crack and people selling crack, they hustling. I needed parts.
Okay. Did you get involved yourself in selling?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it was taking too long.
So the robbery money came faster.
Yeah, it was taking too long. So I was like, man, I ain't sitting there. I just waited. All right, he sell crack, I just robbed him.
Yeah, robbing the drug dealers is usually more lucrative. But then you have to deal with the retaliation of that.
When you young and you out there like that, you ain't really worrying about that.
Don't care.
Yeah, you ain't.
Have you ever had a robbery just go wrong completely?
Yeah.
What was the worst situation around that?
Rob somebody and they ain't had no money.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is resisting, pulling out a weapon themselves, that type of thing.
Nah, I never had that.
Okay.
Never went
You got
through
lucky.
that. Yeah.
Right.
I got robbed one time.
Oh, you got robbed?
Yeah, I got robbed one time.
How much they take?
I don't remember. They took some money, took some drugs. It was me and one of my best friends. And this joker got us, man. And I think I was more mad the fact that it wasn't what he took. It's like, dang, he caught us. And I knew him.
Did you see him again? Just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Kyle, you know that joker, my man Kyle.
Yeah.
I was hot. I was hot.
So at what point did the hip hop thing start? Like in terms of rapping and writing rhymes and so forth?
The hip hop thing, I think it was in the 80s, the early 80s, going to block parties and we had local rappers around the hood that was doing their thing and just watching them. I was always, into music like that. I loved it, like music and hip hop. So, just 80s, any young kid like our age growing up, looking at people like Run DMC and, wanting to be like that. And some of my big influences early in the rap game, like I said, then when I really started paying like real attention to it, I would say would be like the Big Daddy Kanes, the Cool G raps, Eric B. and Rakim, KRS-One. That's when I started really paying attention and trying to hone my skills writing little rhymes.
Now, wasn't there a guy in your neighborhood, Jazz Fresh?
Yeah.
That worked with you?
Yeah, Jazz Fresh, he had got signed to a label, A Touch of Jazz, through Jazzy Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
So he used to watch me, like I said, early in the game. I used to, cause they used to be in the, I lived on the street and down the street. They used to be in the basement of this guy Boston house. It was Jazz Fresh and Snooze B. And Snooze. And I used to, go down the street. I don't know how old I was, but I was young. And Dad be in the basement and, on turntables and rap. And I used to just down there sitting, just looking through there and just hearing them and just seeing the reaction that they would get from other people in the neighborhood when they used to do block parties and things like that. I was like, I need that.
Right. Jazz Fresh was featured on Trapped on the Dance Floor on Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince's 4th album.
Yeah.
And he actually battled Big Daddy Kane.
He battled Big Daddy Kane at the After Midnight in Philly. That was crazy.
And you were inspired by him as well as Black Thought from the Roots.
Yeah, Black Thought, that was my first rap partner.
Aha. Oh, you guys were in a group?
Yeah, we was in a group.
Yo, I never knew this.
At elementary
you and Black
school.
Thought, yo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Cousin Reek. Yeah, Tariq. Yeah, we went to school together, everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then he went off and started the Roots.
Yeah.
And you did, you went to Roc-A-Fella, and yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, it wasn't as simple as that.
No, I'm saying, I'm oversimplifying,
but
of course.
Yeah, that's how I went.
But ultimately, that's how it ended up.
Yeah.
Okay. How come that group didn't stay together? I could just imagine the two of y'all to this day, like it'd be crazy.
Yeah, elementary school.
Okay.
So
all right. I was that young. Okay, I got it.
Hanging, running around, writing graffiti, break dancing. We had a whole little, we just hung out together.
Dope.
Yeah. Hooky over his school, listen to Sugar Hill Gang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you were a big Scarface fan early on.
Yeah, major Scarface fan.
Yeah. The Ghetto Boys were a force of nature.
Yeah, major Scarface fan.
I'm going to bring that back later on in the story because you guys end up linking up later. Okay, so you're rapping in Philly.
Yeah.
Before you met JayZ, were you getting traction? Were you building a buzz in Philly?
I mean, in South Philly, in my neighborhood, for those, because a lot of people didn't know I rap. So I didn't have mixtapes or none of that out, or, it was just everything that you would do trying to get on, I might have did it once, like went to a rap showcase. But it was just neighborhood stuff, like people in the neighborhood that was close that knew I rap. And when I started really taking it serious like that, I was writing, I had a couple rhymes, a couple raps. I met a kid from around my way at the time, because we was always young, my man Murder Mill. He really made me go hard. I battled, me and him wound up battling. We had mutual friends, and when we battled, we both left the battle thinking that each other won. So at this time, I'm like anybody that I'm running across, I'm just going through them. And I left that joint. I had to ask my man, I'm like, yo, you think he got me? He wouldn't ask, he's like, you gotta write some more shit, Paco. You gotta write some more shit. So we both did that. So he was looking for me. So I'm thinking we about to do round 2. I did my homework. We wound up linking up, and we went to one of his friends' house and did music together. So we did this one song together, me and him. And that was the first CD that we, it's either 1 or 2. And we pressed it up on the CD. We gave it out, and it was this banging. It was just going crazy. Everybody in the neighborhood loved it. Then I get a call from him again. Somebody want to battle for some money. So we put all our money together. We go out to battle them, and lo and behold, who we was going to go battle happened to be Philly's Most Wanted.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah.
Which was the big group at that time in Philly.
Yeah, they was hot. Well, no. The biggest group in Philly at that time, hands down, was Major Figures.
Oh, okay. Right.
Hands down was Major Figures. They had the city on lock. Major Figures. So, and it's crazy because a lot of times I tell a story, stuff was happening so fast, I leave a lot of stuff out. So, we go battle Most Wanted. We didn't wind up actually battling, but we all was rapping. We did our thing, I guess the cypher thing. And me and Bubonic from Major Figures, shout out to Bubonic, the art of Albacia, we wound up exchanging numbers. Cause he was like, after I heard him, I was like, he was crazy. He was like, yo, you dope. He was like, take my number, we gonna link up. Cause I guess they folks that was gonna put money up for them at the time, they was crazy. They was in Cancun. And they was with JayZ. So when we come there, my man Murder, he going crazy. Well, where y'all money at? This, that, and the third. We gonna battle, y'all talk. Cause I guess they had a situation. So he called me cause it was three of them. It was just him. And Bubonic was like, man, y'all come around here with that little bit of money. He went upstairs and came back with like 4 different contracts. This for this. So I ain't pay that no mind, the contracts. He was like, we got deals on the table. And we left. After that, a couple weeks went by, he called me and was like, yo, we going up New York to rap for JayZ. You gonna go? And I took the offer up, went up there, and Roc-A-Fella, y'all.
Okay, so you meet JayZ.
Yeah.
You rap for JayZ?
Yeah.
What was his reaction?
I couldn't really tell at first. I mean, obviously he signed, but he was playing it a little too cool for me at first. Cause he was a little too cool.
Okay.
He was just like, but when I was leaving, our handshake concealed the deal. Cause it wasn't like he was going super crazy in there. Biggs and Dang was going crazy. Everybody else was in the room was like, who the fuck is this dude? Cause it wasn't my meeting. It was Philly's Most Wanted thing. So I was just, in the cut.
Right, because wasn't Philly's Most Wanted supposed to sign to Roc-A-Fella, but the deal never happened?
Yeah.
For whatever reason?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in 1998, you showed up on Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
How much time passed between that meeting and Reservoir Dogs?
At tops, I would believe like a month.
A month? So it was right after.
Weeks.
Couple
weeks, maybe.
Okay.
My memory's shot. I'm old, blam.
I got you.
But
okay,
it
so
might
JayZ,
be a couple weeks.
Okay, so JayZ's working on Hard Knock Life Volume 2.
Yes.
And he got this song called Reservoir Dogs.
That night, when I went up there and rapped from you, because he was doing It Was All Good a week ago with Too Short. That's where we met. I met JayZ at that session. Yeah.
Okay, so Reservoir Dogs. JayZ featuring The Lox.
Yeah.
Sauce Money.
Yeah.
And you.
Yeah.
You guys were all together in the room when it was happening?
Yeah, when I first heard it, we was in the room together. Everybody was there. Everybody didn't rap though that day. The first day, it was just me and Sheik.
Okay.
I don't know if Sauce got on that day. I don't think so. It was just me and Sheik.
Well, there's an interesting story behind that song.
Yeah.
In terms of The Lox.
Black Crate, yeah.
Okay. So, The Lox were, buzzing at this point.
Yeah, it was.
And they're moving around doing shows everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a phone call right when they're about to land in New York saying JayZ wants to get you on this song.
And I don't know. I'm the new cat.
Right. Well, I'm telling the backstory.
Yeah,
Jadakiss actually told the story, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard the story before?
Bits and pieces.
Okay. So here's the story. They landed in New York and they were like, yo, Jay, they got a call. Jay wants you to come down in the studio to lay these verses on the song. And they were like, sure, no problem. We're going to go home, drop off our luggage, and go to the studio. And they're like, nah, he wants you to come right now. And they didn't have carry-on, but they had the big bags. So they were kind of on edge a little bit. They're like, they're thinking like, yo, if Jay landed, would he come to the studio with all his luggage? Nah, but he's asking us to come to the studio with all of our luggage.
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah. So they showed up to the studio and Sheik laid his part. Jada, I guess, laid his part.
I don't think Jada.
Well, okay, well.
I don't know.
Styles P didn't lay his part.
No.
Right? So Styles P came a day later to lay his part, but he was still upset over the whole.
Yeah, when I heard it, unless I left when everybody did, because I don't know, it been so long, but that's crazy though.
So
See, man, I understand where
Right.
it came from.
Exactly. Styles P was still tight over feeling like Jay made us come to the studio with all of our big luggage. So when Styles rapped on it,
Fuck about your album.
I don't give a fuck who you are, so fuck who you are.
I don't care about your pretty bitch.
Watch your car. I don't care about the block, whoever you shot.
Yeah.
And that was actually shot at JayZ.
Yeah.
Like that whole section.
That was crazy.
And I guess Hov was like, it sounds like you're talking about me. And they're like, nah. But in fact, they were.
Yeah,
and Jadakiss said, that goes on. People screw the silencer on and slip one in every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, that was shit. You felt it in that when you heard that. As soon as I heard it, man, my man Paco looked at each other and was like,
He's dissing JayZ on his own song.
Yeah, that was that was the crazy. That right there, to me, like, because I was super big Locks, that solidified everything with me with the Locks. It's like, yo, he can't, like, that was to me, that's the illest story. One of the illest stories in hip hop, if you know. That got to be. For somebody to call you in to do a record, a verse on age, and you know, people who sneaking, man, that was blatant. There wasn't no sneaking about that. That was, because I don't care about your album and wherever it dropped. Yo, that was nuts. Yeah, Styles let his nuts hang on that joint. Yeah, I fuck with that.
Yeah, me too. And you know, and to this day, the Locks are like so set in their principles and morals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I just interviewed Sheik.
Yeah.
And we was talking about like Kanye, you know, because they were on Donda. They did some verses on Donda. And then we talked about all the crazy shit Kanye did afterwards. And I'm like, would you still work with Kanye? And Sheik was like, no, I tell him suck my dick if he called. I don't like none of that shit that he was saying. Flat out.
Yeah.
On camera. You know, everyone else I asked would dance around it because they thinking, oh, Kanye might call me later on. Locks are like, fuck it.
Fuck off.
We are who we are.
Yeah.
So if Kanye called you up right now and said, hey, I want you to jump on the song that I'm working on right now,
Yeah.
what would you do?
I'm not doing it.
There you have it.
I might tell him the shit Fat Joe wanted to stab. Said he'll stab people for. You know what I'm saying? To the Frank stand, dog. I'm not doing it. I don't care. That's where I'm at with it, with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah. And I hope a lot of people feel that same way, dog. I can't do that shit.
If we don't fuck with you, we don't fuck with you. The end.
No, that's
Fuck
facts.
that little money.
That's facts.
Yeah. When you did Reservoir Dogs, were you signed to Roc-A-Fella?
Yeah, I was signed to Roc-A-Fella.
Okay, so you already signed.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. Now you got me thinking, did I? Yeah. I don't know if I actually signed the contract yet. Yo, that shit was just
It was fast.
I mean, I'm talking about from initially meeting Jay and then coming back up there, and that shit was fast. That shit was like a couple days, next week, in the studio, doing all these records. Shit, I don't know if the contract was even drawn up yet, now that you say that.
Okay, because, I mean, you jumped on that. That was on Hard Knock Life Volume 2, Jay-Z's album.
Yeah.
And then the next year, 1999,
Yeah.
you went nuts.
Yeah.
You were on everything.
Yeah.
You were on Volume 3 on 2 different songs. You were on Do It Again. You started off the song. You were also on Pop for Rock.
Yeah.
But then you were on Biggie's 3rd album,
Yeah.
If I Should Die Before I Wake, you know, after he passed. You were on Eve, Philly Philly, Cisco, Unleash the Dragon, Puff Daddy, Journey Through Life, featuring Nas and Lil' Kim.
Yo, that was that. Yeah, that Journey Through. Yeah, I might not have signed because I did that like right after that.
Foxy Brown, 456, Blackstreet,
Yeah.
I Got What You On, For My Thugs, JayZ and Memphis Bleak. Like, you were on just literally dozens of records.
Yeah, all right.
They would just throw you in and be like, go.
Yeah. I was on fire. I was smoking.
You were on fire at
It was the new
25 years
thing.
old.
Yeah.
And that next year, 2000,
Yeah.
you drop your debut album, The Truth.
Yeah.
Number 5 on Billboard.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that.
Yep.
I ain't never paid attention to none of that stuff.
Well, and wasn't that the album that introduced Just Blaze and Kanye
Yeah.
in terms of the production?
Yeah. That album was Just and Kanye first placements.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was Kanye like back then when you guys were working together?
Kanye was he was Kanye, to be honest. He was more a little quiet, like, but I can't even say quiet. Nah, he was, I guess I'm comparing him to the new Kanye, or I don't like to say the old and the new.
Yeah.
The Kanye that we seen was a little more reserved. But Kanye was Kanye.
Yeah. Okay. What was it like to have an album, the number 5 album in the country? I mean, you don't remember the numbers, but clearly you remember the effect of the album and how everyone was fucking with it and everything else like that.
Man, that shit was just like a big fucking, I don't know what you call that, cause I didn't have the ambition or the drive, like, to actually be, I knew how to rap, but to set out like, yo, I'm gonna be this rapper, I'm gonna be a big star, I'm gonna do, that wasn't my story. It was like, all right, I do it, then I'm out. I'm going back to the black. I do that, and then I'm out. All right, yo, you gotta go up New York. I go up New York, what's up? I do it, and then I'm going. Cause I ain't know nobody. I was like, if I don't really know you like that, you ain't gonna get too much from me. Conversation-wise, or just, that's just how I was. Like, so after a while, I started like, all right. What made me really start, I went right on a Hard Knock Life tour. The Hard Knock Life tour. And that was like, I think that was even before I even started recording the album or started. So it was about that for me. All right, I can make this music and then go on the road in different states and just do what the fuck you want to do. Yeah, I'm with this life.
Well, that same year, JayZ dropped Dynasty, Roc-A-Fella, and you were all over this fucking album. You're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 songs.
Yeah.
You're on This Can't Be Life with your hero, Scarface.
Yeah.
What was that like, to be rapping on a song? You know, to go from listening to Scarface to actually doing a song with Scarface.
That was dope because on my first album, they asked me, like, who you want to do a song with? Scarface. Like, who else? I'm like, man, just make the Scarface shit happen.
It didn't happen, though, on your album.
Yeah, The Truth, Scarface on that.
Oh, he's on The Truth. Oh, okay.
My only feature on
my
this.
bad. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Scarface, the only feature on The Truth.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah.
My mistake. Okay, so then you're on This Can't Be Life again with Scarface.
Yeah.
You were on Change the Game,
Yeah.
Streets is Talking, Stick to the Script, Parking Lot Pimpin', the ROC, and 1-900 Hustler, which introduces Freeway.
Yeah. That's a funny story. Cause when we was doing that free, I was supposed to rap on that. And it was I don't think Bleak did a verse yet. And I'm telling Free, like, man, get on this joint. He like, nah, Jay gonna take me off. Cause I don't think Free had his actual deal yet. I don't think he's signed yet.
Well, here you are in the studio with JayZ, and you're not even signed at this point, right?
No, I don't think I was signed yet.
He's like, man, they gonna I'm like, man, just do it. Cause we had a beat, we're in the studio. I'm like, man, do the record. He was like, no, I ain't gonna mess. I'm like, man, do the record. So we had there was a verse on it, but once you heard the verse, we started building around, like, Jay, who was on that record first? I think Jay was on it first. And then we started just like building around it. So I started messing with the hook, and I heard the verse Free was gonna do, and it's like, man, go ahead in there. And Free went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Free went crazy, and I'm like, see? I'm like, yo, Free, you made the album, Free. Yeah, that was dope, though.
He made a career off that song, pretty much.
Yeah, but that album, I think I was on so many records, too, because that's supposed to have been a compilation album.
I mean, pretty much was. I mean,
Nah,
I know it was a
that's
JayZ album, but when you look at the track listing, it's pretty
but
much.
looking at it and...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Jay did any solo songs on that album, did he?
Yeah.
Like every song got like tons of features on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you are, you're on tons of records, your album's out, and then some friction starts with the Lox.
Yeah.
Now, I'm still trying to figure out how it started. Do you remember what initially set it off?
I think I do. In my recollection, it was a lot of, you said them silences.
Mm-hmm.
Them switches, who told you? Kiss? Said they
said
screw
that, yeah.
every now and then you gotta put on the silencer. Yeah, they was taking little shots back and forth.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't there an interview where Jadakiss said that he runs Philly? I'd read that somewhere.
He probably did. Before me, yeah, but that wasn't what started.
It wasn't what started.
Nah. It was, they did, Kiss had that record.
Uh-huh.
He was on that R. Kelly record.
Oh, R. Kelly record. Okay.
Yeah. He's on a record with R. Kelly.
And you're saying he took a shot at you?
No, he didn't take a shot at me. Jay took a shot at them.
Oh.
After the party is the hotel lobby. And he said, after the original was probably this, that Fiesta joint. And Kissing Them was on that first.
Oh, the original. Oh,
Yeah,
Lox were on the original
was-
Fiesta,
yeah,
and
this.
Jay was on the remix. Oh, so the Lox took that like
Yeah.
as a shot?
Yeah.
Oh, so it became like a
Yeah, it was a
Roc-A-Fella.
shot, because then it was a couple joints that that they was on first, and Jay Clip like jumped on joints, and then you hear little stuff. We all knew who the best since Big ain't here. You know, Jay was, so it was a lot of darts thrown.
Well, but then Jadakiss drops, or he went straight at you.
What record was that?
Well, he had the line, shoot to kill, stomp dudes out, boot to grill. I'll give you a reason why I'm the truth for real. Dudes can't fuck with Kiss, I mean that. Had to stop eating red meat because they ate too many Beanie Macs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was just out there at that point. There was no subliminals. It's like, okay, that's
It
clearly
might have
at
been
you.
something that I said prior to that. Because tell you the truth, in our hood, when they was going back and forth, I was like, what's going to happen? Then they was throwing a lot of joints and Jay wasn't saying nothing. So I got to go to the block and hear like, what your man scared? No, this is real shit. This real shit. Damn, your man scared. He don't want to fuck with Kissing Them. Your man scared. Damn. Then we analyzing everything. We listening, trying to make something out of shit. Cause I'm like, damn, you heard that? He coming at you, man, I'm telling you. Then you hear little joints going back and forth, and they're like, yo, you gotta say something. So I don't know what I said, and then it was little whispers like, damn. It was little conversations like, what you gonna do?
Okay, so you end up dropping a freestyle
Yeah.
dissing Jadakiss. He dropped a freestyle dissing you back.
Yeah.
And then did you guys have a show together at Powerhouse in Philly? Like both of you guys were on the bill?
Nah, he was at Powerhouse that night.
Aha,
Yo,
you showed
Puff
up.
funny too, man. Yo, this industry crazy. Cause now when I sit back and think all the little sneaky moves dudes was doing, it's crazy. Makes sense. So he went to Powerhouse, was in Philly, and he did a freestyle, and they just started going crazy on him. So I get the call.
Was the freestyle about you?
Yeah.
Wait, so he went to your town
Yeah.
and dissed you on stage.
Yeah, he funny too, because I heard an interview where he explaining that. He was like, why did I do that? He said they threw everything at him. Everything. And
they were throwing stuff on stage?
Yeah, went left for him. It was crazy. And then people calling. And now that I think about it, I want to know if that was the beginning of the Free the Locks campaign too. Around that time.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, because they want to get off Bad Boy.
Yeah, Puff crazy, because he let me go up there and do that on his. So I wound up coming there.
Oh.
2 powwows.
And Puff lit you on his set.
Yeah.
To diss Jadakiss.
Yeah, that was crazy. See, these people
Puff is
crazy.
petty like that.
People crazy. Now that I really sit back and think about that, I'm thinking like, damn, why we was the Free the Rock shit?
Okay.
People were vicious, man.
Well, and then you guys went up to Hot 97, you and the Young Guns, and you guys went in crazy on the Locks. And I remember me and Sheik talked about this recently. When Jadakiss heard that, he wanted to go grab his gun and wanted to confront y'all.
Absolutely, dog. No, that's how that, because they had him aggravated. They had him aggravated, because, like, so boom, so you cool with somebody that really ain't, like, spitting like that, saying whatever. All right, cool. And we never gonna see each other. It ain't gonna be nothing. But, like, somebody that's really lyrical, coming at you like that and saying some clever shit, and the other people think it's dope what they said, you like, fuck that. I'm going to smack this nigga, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
And they had to, like, talk him out of it.
Yeah.
Like, he was that angry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it just hit a little too close to home. It was like the lines were a little too slick, and it was in his city, and it was just like.
I mean, that might have been the part. I think probably the initial drive is that we was from Philly, and Cav was letting us get off on him. I mean, not Cav, Flex.
Yeah.
I'ma kill them niggas. Yeah. But that's the, I mean, I'm glad it didn't go there, but that's the reaction you want, though.
Yeah.
That was like
we got it. Right, because I
you
remember.
Can't rattle those dudes. Like, it was like, we had to do that. They ain't gotta do that. You know, they gonna one and done niggas. So it's like, yo, gotta be relentless.
Well, yeah, I remember Sheik Luch in an interview we did a while back. He said that when the beef with you guys and the Locks was in full swing, I guess there was a Locks promo truck that drove through Philly, and he said that you dragged the driver out the truck.
I heard that, but I don't remember.
You don't remember that
shit? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah. It was on.
It was on. Well, eventually, and Freeway talked about this in our last interview, D and Wag got involved and got y'all to like meet up at a park or something and talk it out.
I remember Beans and Kiss, we were somewhere out here in the park and they talked and squashed everything. I was out there with them, and yeah, we was in the park out here. I don't know what part of New York it was, but we was out here in the park and like we wanted to go meet them. And like Kiss, I know D from Rough Riders was there. Like they like situated the whole thing. And like Kiss and Mac actually went and talked together, you know, and then they squashed it, and that's when it was squashed.
No, I think me and Kiss was on the same show.
Okay.
And it was like, nah, that shit ain't going down.
So you guys had a conversation.
Yeah, because you gotta look, we had the heat of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And this shit like, yo, we on the same bill. You know, normally somebody would be like, they ain't gonna do the show. And it's like, we doing the show. Whatever happened. And there's a million motorcycles out there. Like Rough Riders, this is like, that's all you see. I ain't never explained. I was like getting bagged not to do the show. It's like, y'all tripping.
Rough Riders at their height were ridiculously thick.
Oh yeah, that's
with all the motorcycles.
Yeah,
the way you describe the motorcycles, I've seen 100 motorcycles.
Gang.
Yeah, I've seen 100 motorcycles personally.
100 ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Yo, I remember, cause Allegedly, I had a few people with me, you know, we thought that we was situated right. I had a good probably 20, 30 people that's like 5 over there, but D was like, don't do it.
Yeah, you guys were outnumbered.
You don't want to do this. Why y'all want to do this?
How did that conversation go? When you and
I didn't
kissed
understand it until years later when D told me. We was cool, everything squashed. He was like, yeah, Ben, I see all your people, but y'all never, we had the whole park surrounded. You wouldn't have made it out of this. It's like, damn. So, yeah, we talked, and it was like that. To me, it was like, y'all, there was a question, like, if y'all really y'all gonna do all this, and to me, it was like, yeah, this shit out of pocket. This can get really crazy. And that's the first time really get to see him face to face, and I was a super fan.
Mm-hmm.
I was a super fan.
Yeah, but your first big song was with him, was with the Lox, yeah.
I mean, I might have been more of a fan of the Lox than I was of Jay at the time.
Huh.
Yeah, I just got signed to Roc-A-Fella Records, but Jay wasn't in the pull-out, the D face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a fan of him.
After that conversation, was it done? No more diss records, everything cool?
Yeah, it was over.
Good.
I mean, it was over for me. After that freestyle, I ain't do nothing else.
Yeah.
I ain't do no diss back. He threw a couple more joints. I ain't even respond to it. Yeah, I was like, but it was too late. Because we went back up more. I think Flex was after that. But after that, it was too late.
Yeah, well, I mean, Freeway got involved at one point. He dropped a record where he dissed the Lox and Nas at the same time.
Did Free talk about this?
Yes.
That was painful for me, like, you know, because when I was a young boy, they used to call me the Philly Nas. I had a song and I had this hook. They love to hear the story how the thugs live and worry. Ducking down the car seats, heat is mandatory. They love to hear the story how the thugs live and worry. Ducking down the car seats, ducking down the car. Like, I love Nas, you know, but like I said, when it come time for ride for the team, I'm riding for the team.
Right, but the Nas and JayZ beef really had nothing to do with you at the time. You know, it's not like Nas was taking shots at you on Ether or anything else like that. So you didn't have to do that, but you decided to jump into that.
Yeah, of course. Like, you know, at that time, you know, we in the middle of it. And, you know, it's time to show and prove. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm letting people know what it is. I'm riding for the team.
Yeah, he said that it hurt him to diss Nas because he was such a fan.
So it's good. Then I could talk about it. Free ain't want to do that shit.
Yeah, that's what he said.
He ain't want to do none of it. None of it.
Mm-hmm.
None. I'm like, man, come on, what you? They ain't want to touch that. Nobody, like, I ain't gonna say, and it was crazy because he was probably like 17 at the time. Young Chris was, and it's whatever. But Free ain't want to do that. Free ain't want to come at the lot. Nobody did.
Well, that next year, 2001, you dropped your second album, The Reason.
Yeah.
Number 5 on Billboard.
Again?
Mm-hmm. Beanie Mac Bitch was the biggest song on that record.
Mm.
And it did well. It did solid, but it wasn't any huge hits yet.
I wouldn't even finish that album, man.
Huh. What do you mean?
I wasn't finished.
They just put it out?
It was like, yo, you got enough records. We got it. See, I didn't understand the music business I didn't understand how to even make a album until probably The Becoming.
Okay, we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that next year, 2002, that's when State Property kind of came together? Because the State Property movie came out.
Well, we was together before that.
Right, but was it called State Property before then?
Yeah, we had State Property before the movie.
Okay, got it.
That's why we named the movie State.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys form State Property. You,
Yeah.
PD Crack, Young Guns, Skino, and Sparks.
Yeah.
Freeway, of course. What was Freeway? Freeway's State Property, right?
Yeah.
Right. The movie comes out, but then the soundtrack comes out
Mhm.
with Rock the Mic,
Yeah.
which is my favorite song that you and Freeway
Yeah.
did. I remember 2002, that's when I moved to New York, as a full-time DJ. And I remember dropping that record in the clubs, and it was just
Yeah.
bananas.
Crazy. Shout out to Just Blaze for that.
Yeah. Did you know that was going to be a hit when you made it?
Nah, I almost told Free I was cool to get on a record. That we, I'm trying to think. Me and Bleak was supposed to have been working on a project together. And we went down to Miami. The Circle House. It was a lot of stuff we were supposed to be doing down there. And, niggas got to Miami and it started just being all over the place. So me and Free, we was in there. And I remember I was in one room doing something. And Free was like, yo, I want you to come hear this record. And I'm like, all right, I'll be over there because I'm locked into whatever I was doing. Because I think me and Bleak couldn't get on the same page for some reason or another down there. So I'm like, man, I ain't wasting this time. I just started loading up records. And Free coming in is like, yo, you gotta hear this joint. Justice sent us some joints. I just did a verse on this song. On this beat, it's crazy. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come over there. Then my brother come in the room, like, he's like, yo, what you doing? I was like, listen to this. He was like, how you stop that joint? He pushed his, he was like, no, that ain't it. Yo, you gotta go in here and listen to it. He was like, I'm telling you, before everybody start jumping on this record, Free got a banger over there. And that's how my brother demeanor, he like, listen, I'm telling you, before everybody start getting on this joint, don't let everybody get on this record. Just you and Free, he got a bang over there. So we go over there, and there's no hook or nothing on it. And he was like, play that joint, and that joint was like, so I don't know, dude, his vocals ain't pull up yet, and the beat was just playing. And I'm like, I mean, that joint all right. He was like, no. My brother's like, listen to it. He was like, dang, just listen to it. So he played the beat, and then I'm like, what you do? I'm like, play it. And Free was like, pull my verse up one. He played it. I listened to it. I listened to it like 3 times. I looked at Free. I'm like, yo, we need a hook. I'm like, yo, ain't nobody getting on this record. We did it. I'm like, yo, don't play it for nobody. I didn't even want Jay to hear it until we finished it. I'm like, bro, nobody getting on this record. That joint was crazy. And then Sparks heard it, and Sparks was on the record. He got on it, because that's how it was with State Private. That's how we did records. It was like 7 of us. So if a crazy beat came, everybody get a verse on it, and then you come back the next day, your verse ain't on it.
Right, because Sparks didn't end up on that record.
No, he hot about that to this day.
I bet.
Yeah, he's sick about that.
I bet.
He's sick about that to this day.
Well, Young Guru, Jay-Z's engineer, did an interview where he said that Leah was supposed to do the remix for that record.
Yeah.
You heard about that?
Yeah.
What happened with that?
She came to do a couple records for us.
Huh.
So we was in Miami, and we actually, when Aaliyah passed, she was on her way to Miami to come to the studio with us.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she was supposed to come and record with you guys and end up dying in the plane crash.
That's why on that song, I Can't Go On This Way, like, me and Free, after, it was just crazy. that day was just crazy. Dame came at, like, Leah was shooting a video, she was flying in, Dame flew in, and then we got the news, like, it was just like, oh, shit. And Free verse on that soundtrack on I Can't Go On This Way. If you listen to that verse, you could tell, like, that his verse was, he got references in there about that, about Leah passing that day.
Yeah, that was a tragedy, man.
Yeah.
She had a hell of a career ahead of her, man. Like, she was just on fire, but she was just getting started. The acting, the singing.
Yeah.
You know, her and Dame were in a serious relationship as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah.
Well, that same year you got on Scarface's Guess Who's Back with JayZ. I love that record.
Yeah.
Love that record. By this is what, your third song with Scarface by this time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Third song with Face.
And you were actually in the movie Paper Soldiers with Kevin Hart that year.
Yeah, that was on fire. That's crazy. All that stuff was like, wow.
Now, that same year, didn't you get arrested with a gun in West Philly?
Yeah.
And that kind of started a string
No, that
of...
was in South Philly.
South Philly, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Was that case dropped or...
Year. No, that same year, I got arrested with the firearm and I had attempted murder.
Okay, I'm going to get into that because there was a bunch of stuff that happened. All right, so in 2003...
It was over.
Well, Freeway dropped What We Do with you and JayZ. Huge song.
Yeah.
State Property Chain Gang Volume 2 came out. Can't Stop, Won't Stop by the Young Guns was on that. That got nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah.
For Best Rap Performance by a Duo or Group. I think it was that year when Dipset ended up joining Roc-A-Fella.
Yeah, it might have been.
It was around that time.
Yeah.
And, I interviewed Jewels not too long ago.
Yeah.
And we talked about sort of the tension between Jay and Cameron. And the way he described it is that Jay and Cam kind of had a funny relationship. It wasn't really beef. It was just the two of them just didn't really get along.
They had like a funny relationship. You know what I mean? With them being, they never really clicked and meshed to where it was like, it felt like we were truly Roc-A-Fella artists, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Dame always showed us that love and that, you know what I'm saying? But besides that, like, we were cool, State Property. We just never felt like we were like truly welcome over there. Like, we felt like the outcasts of the family. You know what I'm saying?
From your point of view, how would you explain that?
I mean, I don't know what it was. It was weird because we fucked with Dipset. And that shit just kind of like hinder a lot of like relationships. Like, man, State Property and Dipset under the same roof, it was too much shit. Like, if that relationship wasn't funny, shit, you probably got a whole nother straight 10-year run. You're the two biggest at that time. Like, it was just crazy, man.
Right, because Cameron was on fire. Hey Ma.
Yeah.
Was, like that first album, was it Take Me Home? Like, was platinum. But I remember I interviewed Petey Crack about this.
Was mad, man. He was salty about that. Cause Crack's.
Yeah. Well, Petey Crack had a song. Well, I get one for Petey Crack, right? One of his big songs had a Cameron verse on it. Jay deleted the Cameron verse.
That was one for Petey?
I think so. And then I guess Petey said he played the song for you with the Cameron verse, and he pulled the CD out and broke it in half.
I played the shit on the airplane. That's when we had little Discmans and shit. I played the whole way to Cali, and I get there, and the whole state P is already there. You know what I'm saying? So I go up to their room and shit. They all in one room playing a game, smoking and shit. I'm still excited again. I pull the CD out. I'm like, hey, Beans, look, this is joint I did, man. Check this shit out. I threw the CD in the deck, and I pressed play, and the same shit. When it got up to Cameron part, this nigga Mac stand up and walk over to the CD player, kindly ejected that shit and broke it in half and threw it in the trash. Like, yo, get the shit out of here. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know if it went down like that. Crack be having crazy, crazy, man. I think I heard that story though.
Okay. But
crack,
I mean,
it ain't go down like that's how it was, I guess.
but there was tension.
Yeah.
Over that situation.
Yeah, but that wasn't our business though.
Yeah.
And that's what it was fucked up.
But Jay did take Cameron's verse off of
And
the PD song.
and Jay didn't want. That's what I'm saying. This shit was. Jay didn't want. Put it like this. I'm gonna say this. Jay didn't want that CD to get leaked, and I'm gonna leave it alone.
Okay.
So it wasn't like I just took it and broke it and all, because I already know the relationship that Petey had. Like, we really bang with them. I mean, to the point, like, we in the studio and Crack disappeared. He running around with Henny Loke and them. He out with Jewels and them. They in the hood somewhere.
Mm.
And that's what was dope about it. Like, the relationships that was about to, you know, that whatever they had funny, that stopped a lot of records being made with each other and all that.
Yeah.
It was whack.
Well, in January of 2003, you got arrested for allegedly punching a 53-year-old man in the face and fracturing his eye socket.
Yeah.
But then later that year, you got charged with attempted murder.
Yeah.
According to reports, they say that you allegedly fired 6 shots from a 9mm handgun at the club door.
It's like, nah.
Injuring 2 people. 1 man got shot in the foot and the stomach. You're also charged with aggravated assault,
They
simple
just
assault.
gonna add
possession.
another person in there. They just gonna say I hit 2 people now. That shit crazy. Go ahead though.
Okay, well, you're also charged with aggravated assault, simple assault, and possession of a criminal instrument.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly. When you got arrested for that, because you had been in and out of the system, you know, throughout your life, but this is a serious charge.
Yeah.
When you got arrested for that, what went through your mind?
Honestly, Vlad, it was just, here it go.
Here you go.
Yeah, it wasn't, I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm about to go. Like, I wasn't, shit, I'm going to jail. It's like, honestly, it's like, man, I was so fucking deeply and rooted in that lifestyle. It was just part of it. That's like a boxer, you know, going to the gym and he might get knocked out in sparring. That's part of it.
But you're a superstar rapper at this point. Didn't matter.
And everybody else mind.
But not in your own.
That shit didn't register to me then. Cause I wouldn't have did a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of shit that shit didn't register to me.
Well, that next year, okay, so you have this case hanging over you. That next year, I guess there was a high-speed chase. Cops say that they saw you toss a gun out of the car. They also found drugs in the vehicle. So you get arrested for that.
Yeah.
And then the attempted murder case goes to trial.
Yeah.
How many years were you facing for the attempted murder?
They offered some stupid ass shit, like 20 to 40.
So you're like, I'm going to trial.
Of course.
Yeah.
Rumble, young man, rumble.
Mm-hmm. So it goes to trial.
Mm-hmm.
For 5 days, the jury deliberated
Yeah.
and came back deadlocked, hung jury. Judge declared a mistrial.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you heard the mistrial news? Was it relief or it was like, fuck, I'm about to probably go through this again?
Yeah, they gonna come back. I mean, it was cool for at that time. But then, it's like, when they gonna come back with it? But 9 times out of 10, mistrial this joint, not guilty next time.
Okay, so you're waiting for the retrial and you get convicted for on a federal weapons and drug possession charge.
Mm-hmm.
You got sentenced to 1 year and 1 day.
Yeah, that was state at first.
Oh, and it got boosted up to the feds picked it up.
They want to see. Them people play tricky. They just wanted, the point system. See how the them feds, man, some vicious motherfuckers, man. Yeah, but basically they just wanted to took it federal and then fell back. Cause today I was still on the road. I was on the road. I came back up. I forget what tour that was. Cause with all that shit that was going on before the gun, I was pissed off. I had down there, if I could remember, like $1 million bail for some shit for the gun shit. I got out with 15,000 on that temp. How the fuck that happened? Like, it was weird. Like, I think I actually came off the road, went to court, and, it must be tried. It's like the 4th time going to court. Judge say, these people, wait. I'm in the court all day. Suit on, and 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, with his cop at, yo, boy, come on, I'm trying to get out of here. Because I think Free had court too. So we wound up leaving, I don't know what tour it was. Liquid Sprite, one of them tours. We wound up having to catch a jet back to go to court. And we're just gonna go back on the tour. So I'm in a courtroom all this time going past. I wind up talking to this guy over. It kind of looked like you, Vlad. No, dead ass. A younger version of you. So I'm like, damn, they ain't called you yet. So no, court recess, leave out. I go out, smoke. He come out. I should have knew it was something going on. The nigga asked me for a Newport. Fuck this white boy asking for a Newport. I smoke Marlboros, some Camels. Give me one. Light. Go back upstairs. Boom. So I slide off, come back. Lawyer called me, yo, come in. I'm like, Barry, what's up? I go up there and they give it this cop more time to come to court. I'm like, this is crazy. I sit down. Man, you still over there? He's sitting there shaking his head. I was like, damn, man, they dragging me too. I'm like, I forgot what he told me that he was in court for. So now judge called me. We go up. He pissed off now because the DA keep asking for all his time. He like, nah. He was like, he not here in the next 10 minutes. He was like, my court will be adjourned for the day. I'm closing this case out. 15 minutes go past, go up there, boom. All right. Threw the gun out. I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here. So I'm on my way out the door. I go shake my man hand. White boy, I'm kicking it with. He going to shake his hand. I go to move and he gripped it a little strong. I'm like, yo, what you doing? Nigga went this shirt, pulled out the joint badge, U.S. Marshal. Yeah, he was a Fed the whole time. I was like, don't go nowhere. He was like, grab my hand, tried to hold. He was like, U.S. Marshal. Then they came in the courtroom and told me after the judge dismissed the case that gun case was adopted 4 months ago.
By the feds?
By the feds.
Okay. So then you go to prison at that point. So now you're locked up.
Mm-hmm.
While you're locked up, was that when Roc-A-Fella starts to break up?
No. Not at that time.
Was it close to that time? Because it was
You
around
saw- you
that
saw-
same year.
Yeah, you saw stuff. You saw stuff. You heard stuff. I was trying to tell people. It was because I'm thinking at this time. No, because I had went away for a minute. Once when I went into custody, then I was locked up for probably like
8 months.
8 months.
Mm-hmm.
I was locked up for 8 months, and then I got out. I finally got bail. It took me 8 months to get bail. So I got my bail. They let me go back and forth. I think after I got out, that's when I really started seeing all it.
Right. So
Yeah.
Roc-A-Fella starts to break up.
Yeah.
JayZ becomes president of Def Jam. And then artists on the label are having to choose sides.
Yeah.
Are they going with Jay? Are they going with Dame and Biggs?
Yeah.
Because Dame has Dame Dash Music Group.
Mm-hmm.
You end up going with Dame
No, I didn't.
initially. No?
No. I never went with that.
Well, there's a quote that you have.
Mm-hmm.
You said, I've never been around Jay on an off day. It ain't like I made a choice of running with Dame and Biggs or Dame and Biggs held me down through my whole trial. It's not that. I'd be a sucker if I said I signed with Dame and Dash Music Group because they did that for me. It's love. You see how we chilling now? This ain't about no business.
Yeah.
So you were cool with Dame.
I was cool with him, but read it again, Black. I'm not going to go
You're
with
not going. Okay, so you didn't end up going with him.
No, I'm not going to do that.
You're not
I'm
gonna
not
do that.
picking no sides. I ain't doing
So
that.
you weren't picking sides at that point.
No,
Okay.
no matter what was portrayed or painted on the outside, you just gotta pay attention. I made that clear the day that I got out of federal prison when Dan came up with the buses and all, because I think that will be on. That's where that interview came from.
Uh-huh.
And I saw his face in the corner, like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do like, at the time, my constituents, and I don't blame them too for making decisions, because they gotta make decisions based on their welfare and well-being was good for them. But at me at that point, I didn't understand shit and couldn't see like what was the situation for Roc-A-Fella.
Yeah. Right, because didn't state property start to kind of break up around this time also?
I mean, they ain't break up. They rolled with Jay
Yeah.
on that situation. I was the only one that was, on his own little island.
So you didn't go with Jay or Dame?
No. When it was the choice, I was in jail.
Aha. Okay, I understand what you're saying.
I was in jail. I was trying to do things. Like, I was in jail. And that's when all the decisions had to be made. Decisions was already made. The breakup was official. When like that happened, I was incarcerated.
Okay, because your third album, The Becoming,
Yeah.
didn't that come out on Dame Dash's label?
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to, though.
What do you mean?
When I was in jail, it was strictly agreed upon that I only got a year and a day in here. I'm gonna be in here for a year. I just did the Public Enemy mixtape with Green Lantern. I shot all these videos, run that mixtape for a year, and my album gonna drop the day that I get out of jail.
Mm.
But because of the stuff that Jay and Damon was going through, they threw my album out anyway
While you were locked up?
while I was locked up.
Right, because the album had like a prison cover on it.
I did the artwork for that album before I went to jail.
Okay.
It was a chance that it was over. When I did everything and was completing that album, I'm still fighting the attempted murder.
Yeah.
I'm not worrying about the federal pistol case.
Yeah, that's just
I
the
get
year.
6
Yeah.
Well, I could have got up to 6 years for that.
Mhm.
With my record, I wound up just getting. My whole focus was on, the state. So, all those decisions was made when I was incarcerated.
Okay, well, The Becoming comes out,
Yeah.
number 3 on Billboard, and it had Feel It in the Air, which is your biggest solo record.
Mm-hmm.
20 million streams on Spotify.
That album would have been one of the biggest albums in the career if they'd have just waited.
It was a great album.
Should have just
It
waited.
was a great album. You know, I remember I listened to Feel It in the Air today, and I noticed again that you quoted Scarface on it.
Mm-hmm.
Said, I stand alone in my four-cornered room staring at hammers instead of candles.
If you pay attention to that song a little closer, you'll hear about the breakup.
Oh,
Just pay attention.
okay. I'm going to go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
Well, then came the retrial for the attempted murder case.
Mm-hmm.
You go through the whole trial. How long did the trial last?
I don't remember. Just a bunch of bullshit.
Bunch of bullshit. And at the very end, the jury deliberated. When you're sitting there, you know, the jury has made a decision, was ready to, you know, read the verdict. You're facing 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
You're 31 at the time.
It's over.
How nervous were you over that decision?
I'll be probably just coming home right now.
Right.
All for that.
They read the verdict, not guilty.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
I mean, you know, when it's coming, you get that butterfly. So when it's coming, you embracing for it. Not guilty. Yeah. I don't want to sound cocky, but yeah.
How much did you spend on lawyers
Shit.
by that time for that murder case? I mean, the attempted murder case.
Millions.
You spent millions,
Yeah.
but you went all out. You said,
Yeah.
"Hey, this is
Spent millions, lost millions.
yeah." But it kept you out of prison.
Yeah.
Imagine that case of the public defender.
A P. Diddy? Never. Kidding me? I had 3 lawyers.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. I had 3 lawyers. I wasn't playing.
okay, so then that next year, 2006, you get convicted for that fight that happened in 2003 with a 53-year-old man that ended up being a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
So that was just some little shit.
Yeah, that wasn't nothing. You putting the age on that joint, 53-year-old man. Shit, that's like, man, you getting punched in the
Right.
face right now,
Exactly.
Vlad. So that,
Two grown men, yeah.
Yeah, man, you got punched in
Okay.
his face.
Well, you get out.
I'm beating up old men.
Right.
You're like
53 ain't that old.
53-year-old
I'm
man.
about to
That's
turn
like
50.
me and you
yeah,
getting
we
punched
turning
in.
50 this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you do your time over the gun case. You beat the murder case. Your album comes out. And then did you re-sign to Roc-A-Fella Records at that point?
Nah. It was I don't remember. Jay was at I think that last album, The Solution. It might have been Roc-A-Fella Records with
Right, yeah, because in 2007,
Under Jay.
the solution came out.
yeah, like 2008. It might have came 7, 8.
7, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was on Roc-A-Fella, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. That one hit 37 on the Billboard. It didn't do as well as your previous 3 albums. Was that a little bit of a
Yeah.
disappointment?
No kidding. I mean, at that time, I didn't really give too much about the music business anyway. I was just fulfilling my obligation. I owed the album. I was trying to get out of there.
Well, that next year, 2008, you violate your parole.
Yeah.
They said that you gave a false urine sample.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that now? Did you actually give them a false urine sample?
If that's what they said,
Yeah. You ended up
like,
getting-
I don't want to go in details
fair
and
enough.
start unraveling.
Fair enough.
Man, you already make me nervous. People come up here and do your show and go to jail.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
That's not true. That is not true.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Name one person that went to prison because of a VladTV.
No, I ain't say because. I say after.
Well, I mean, listen, if you leave here and you go rob a bank, then you will go to prison after a VladTV interview, but it has nothing to do with the VladTV interview. Right?
No. Your interviews force people to say stuff that opens up investigations on them.
No, there's never been a VladTV interview that came up in a court case.
No. Why would they? Why would the feds or whoever it is bring your interview up in a system that make people, this is the perfect thing. We know they gonna go on Vlad. You know, the cameras is a dangerous thing. They get to, and they gonna tell us everything. They gonna tell Vlad everything.
I'll agree to disagree. This is all stuff that already happened that you've already been sentenced for. That you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I just don't. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm saying you already make me nervous. You ask
Okay,
questions.
fair enough. Okay, so you end up doing 3 months over that.
Yeah.
So now you're back in jail again. I mean, does it get tiring at this point? You're like, damn, man, like I keep going back over dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a false urine sample, that's just dumb shit. It's not, something that just could have been avoided.
Yeah, because I was. All right, Dad, I could talk. I'll tell you about that, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So I violate my probation because me and another guy that I was in custody with, in affairs with, he had a crazy ass parole officer. And when you're on federal parole, you can't associate with known convicts.
Mm.
And allegedly, his parole officer saw us together.
So that's how you violated your parole.
And we went on allegedly he said we took him on a little chase.
Mm.
But his parole officer, I didn't know at the time, had a thing for the rap because I didn't land on his desk. So my man that he accused me of violating, he didn't violate him. I wound up they just put me in a halfway house.
Got it.
And while in the halfway house, like anywhere, people tend to see stuff and don't see it. And, you get to do things, and
Shit happens.
yeah, shit happens, man.
Okay.
And they popped up on me and I'm like, fuck. Damn, we just back here. He wanna do what? Yeah, so they gave me a yarn. Then they came back 3 days. They give me a yarn and I was blown
Right.
in the halfway house.
So 3 months back.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm in it.
Okay. All right. So 2009, you dropped the Broad Street Bully album.
What's that? Yeah, what?
By that time, the Roc-A-Fella and Def Jam contracts had expired. That was your first independent album. Didn't you audition for Biggie's role in Notorious that year?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see that. I can see you playing Biggie. I mean, you were heavier back then, of course.
Yeah.
And did you sign to G Unit that year?
No. I wanted to. It was a situation that was offered for me to come over there. And that's why I think it would have been better for me on that side.
Right. 50 was signing a lot of rappers back then. Like M.O.P. was over there. Mobb Deep was over there. Like he was trying to really build up G Unit as it was like the next Interscope or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's when you dropped I Go Off featuring 50,
Yeah.
which was a JayZ diss song.
It wasn't.
It wasn't?
No. So, when I was in the feds during the year for the gun, me and 50 Uncle was locked up in the same prison. So, we would, set up our visits during the same time, and he would come up. He was just for quick little conversations, and there was interest there, like, yo, when you come home, you don't gotta sign with them because there's a conflict of interest. Like, the company is dissolved and this, that, and the third. So when I came home, I did the solution and I asked Jay to let me slide. Because now he's the president of Def Jam. It's like Roc-A-Fella. It ain't no more Roc-A-Fella. What I'm over here? Like,
Yeah.
I just want to get a clean, run. I'm going to start from the ground up again over here. It was a lucrative situation for me over there. And I think, Jay didn't want I don't know if you looked at as there was a one-up that 50 had on him that I went over there. So I went up to G Unit to play some records for him. And I played 50 some music. And that I Go Off, that you know it's just a record that I ain't had no hook on it.
Yeah.
50 liked it.
50 jumped on the hook.
Yeah, so the twin knocked the hook off, and just because 50 was like, Jay, you don't want the shooter, I'll take him.
Mm. Oh, that's why people were saying it's okay.
Yeah, but if you listen to the hook, the hook is saying, Beans and 50 something, we back up in the club. Cause I had a song called In the Club. He had a song. He's the hook. It ain't nothing about JayZ. Nigga talking about in that record. Even through the lyrics, ain't nothing about JayZ in there. But 50 started talking crazy. Or not in crazy, just, they got that weird relationship.
Yeah,
you would think they don't fuck with each other,
sort of...
but then they fuck with each other.
Yeah.
So when he did it, he asked like, yo, I did the track. It was like, niggas like, yo, you gonna keep that on the end of it? With 50 talking, I'm like, ain't them niggas fuck with each other, man. Leave it like that. Then, once them people in them computers, I go off, they got 50 and Jay looking at each other, and is it JayZ? Nah, what, man?
Okay, so here we go. Yeah, so at the end of the song, 50
Vlad
goes...
don't want to hear none of that. Already ain't a Dutch. Fuck that. Next.
No. I mean, 50 said, yeah. At the end, 50 goes, yeah, you changed, man. You let the money change you, Jay. Used to be from Marcy.
Yeah.
Now you a past the great poupon ass dude. I must have missed this part.
Yeah, you changed, man.
He said, you feed the wolves and the wolves feed off you.
Yeah, if you don't
eat your ass alive.
Yeah.
Your move.
You don't want the shooter, I'll take you.
Yeah, if you don't want the shooter, I'll take you. And by the way, you went nuts on that record.
Yeah.
That was honestly one of my favorite, performances that I've heard of you. Like, you just went... You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me was like prime Beanie right there. You just the timing on it, the verses on it was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that next year, 2010, you and Freeway dropped the Rock Boys album.
Yeah, I don't know if that was really an album. That was,
Did someone just smush that together with a bunch of records, or?
Yeah, we had so much music. I know when I went into the feds, it was 2 hard drives that was... When I came home, that was missing. I don't want to throw my man under the bus, but when I turned in my hard drive, for Green Lantern to do the Public Enemy mixtape, I think it's even that mixtape got 30-something freestyles on it. That hard drive had over 200 and something records on it.
Some of those records turned into Rock Boys.
It turned into a lot of stuff that I ain't put out.
Okay, well, but on that Rock Boys album, there's a song, Average Cat.
I ain't your average cat. Yeah.
Was that a JayZ diss record?
Come on, Vlad. You know it was.
Okay, well, I'm saying, you tell me the other one was not, so I can't just assume that this one is.
That's blatant.
That's blatant. Right. At the end, you said, fuck you 2 and fuck Bleak 3.
Yeah.
Well, but you actually, you talked about that record. You said, I'm not really dissing Jay. Certain parts in there were my emotions, an emotional record for me. When I listened to Jay's latest Blueprint 3, I heard a lot of shots directed towards people. I feel like he gave a lot of pairs of shoes on that album. I felt my feet was meant for a couple of them.
Yeah.
I guess there was a line on there. Jay said, I heated up the rock already. Why can't y'all get hot already? From the song Already Home, you felt that was a shot at you.
No, he said the rock. What, y'all. He didn't say you, he said y'all.
Yeah. Why can't y'all get hot already?
Because to us, as State Pride, it was like I don't know, I guess that was his way of washing his hands. Because when we got it, it's broke, that it's over with, he sent down one of his minions to relay the message. It wasn't nothing formal. I feel as though for, guys that like me and State Property who really help build that, we deserved a conversation. You know what I mean? We deserve to sit down and you let us, but in his mind or with it, he ain't feel like that. At that time, niggas wasn't throwing no shots at Jay, but you throwing shots. Oh no, fuck that.
Well, Jay actually responded in regards to you. He said, Beanie has a lot to complain about, not me. Because Beanie Sigel at the time was driving 2 Bentleys.
That had nothing to do with him.
Right. He said, I don't know how. It's impossible to drive 2 cars
He
at
being
one time.
sarcastic. He can't no drive 1 car. How many cars he
Right,
had?
exactly.
Like, fuck all
I
that.
thought that was sort of a
Fuck
funny
that
comment.
cool bullshit. that nigga, you trying to deflect and like, fuck you mean?
He also
At that
said, with his mama and the sticks and selling
That was
800,000.
disrespectful.
That was disrespectful. When I read that, I kind of cringed a little bit.
Yeah, like his mama.
Yeah.
Fuck you mean?
And selling 800,000 records, I don't know what more you could do for somebody. What people
Nobody was
choose.
asking Jay to do nothing for him.
Yeah.
He had to do nothing for him.
He said, what people choose to do when they attain success, at some point you have to look in the mirror and look at yourself. Beanie Sigel had a record deal, a record label, and a clothing line, and never went platinum ever. I don't know the history of rap. Has anyone done so much with so little? I don't even know what more you could do for a person at that point. A record deal, that's normal. A record label and a clothing line, if that's not pushing a person, shit.
Never had a record label.
You never had a
What
label. So State Property was not your thing.
Never was on. Pull up one thing where State Property ever was signed under me. That's a lie. Jay made that money. It's supposed to be. For years. All right, next thing, we going to do that.
I mean, when you heard that, Jay saying that,
Yeah, that's how I felt. What I'm relaying to is how I felt then. Right now, I really don't, I don't care about it.
Yeah.
I'm good. I understand it. I got a downshift right now because Vlad, you tricky.
I'm straightforward, man. I'm reading the facts.
Yeah.
Well, then in 2012, you got charged with 3 counts of failing to file tax returns.
Yeah.
You pled guilty.
Yeah.
And you got 25 months in prison.
Yeah.
What happened during that whole time? Because I remember it was, I don't know, maybe like a Source or XXL interview where they were interviewing you and a bunch of other State Property dudes, and like one of the dudes didn't want to sign a W-9, and in the interview you were like, motherfucker, I ain't gonna pay your taxes. You better sign this fucking form. I ain't paying you. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, we're about business here. Everyone got to fill out their forms and pay their taxes.
I don't remember that, Vlad.
Okay.
They taxes, they got me.
They got you.
They got me. They got everybody. They got a lot of people that year. I ain't the only one. They banged me. They banged Wesley.
Oh, Wesley went to jail that same year?
It was all around that same time.
Wow.
I think they was fucking with Fat Joe.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Ja
Fat
Rule.
Joe went to jail. Right.
They banged Ryan Osley. Boom. He went to Terror Hut.
So
So all that time, they just was coming at the musicians. So
getting the tax money off,
Yeah.
off the rappers and singers.
yeah.
Right.
Shit, Wesley was in the camp. I was on the compound. He was in the camp over there.
Did you ever see him?
Nah.
Okay. Well, and then that same year, I think you did an interview with Static Selector on Shade 45, and you said that you and Scarface were dropping an album together called Mac and Brad.
Yeah, it never came to fruition.
Yeah,
We
Scarface
discussed
even
that.
announced it too.
Yeah, we discussed it. We both, it was too much things that I had going on in my life. I couldn't do it. And whatever he had going on. Yeah.
Okay, so you pled guilty to the tax thing.
Yeah.
You know you're going to prison for,
Yeah.
2 years and a month. That was the last time me and you did an interview.
Yeah.
This was August 22nd, 2012. I remember during that time, you were a lot heavier. And I remember talking to some people, I'm not going to say who it is,
Yeah.
but they told me that they were concerned because you were drinking lean during that time. And you,
I was drinking lean before I signed the Roc-A-Fella records.
oh, so this had been a long
I've been
time.
drinking lean my whole fucking career. So it wasn't nothing that I picked up.
Okay. So it wasn't just the stress of dealing with that. It was,
Fuck
it
no.
was just a regular thing.
I had a song on my album called Don't Blow My High, Purple Rain.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, we do that interview
Yeah,
on the 22nd of August.
yeah.
1 week later,
Mm-hmm.
you get pulled over.
I was a passenger.
You were a passenger. Okay, you were in a car. They get pulled over. They find a gun, some codeine, some pills, and they take you straight to prison.
Mm-hmm.
You had, what, like 1 week left or something before turning yourself in?
Probably like 5 days, something like that.
Was that disappointing? I mean, because those last 5 days are important. You know what I mean? Like, you're really savoring, okay, I'm going to do this, and then suddenly,
Yeah.
straight to jail. Did not pass go. Did not collect $200.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
I was sad when I heard the news, man.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I just talked to him a
was
week
going to
ago.
jail anyway.
Yeah, but still a week early.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
It was fucked up. So then you start your sentence, and I guess the arrest, once you got sentenced for that arrest, they just ran it concurrently. So it,
No, they postponed it. They dragged me.
oh, they did.
Yeah, they dragged me. Yeah, feds wouldn't come and get me. That's what I was waiting for. So they waited. Like, we ain't coming to get that nigga. They waited for that whole situation to get cleared up.
So did you have to do it
Yeah,
consecutively?
I did like 8 months for that before
on
I
top
went
of
in.
it. Oh.
So that was the fucked up part.
Aha.
That shit cost me some more time.
Yeah.
I did like, I think about like 7 or 8 months. And I knew they was dragging me because the person who I was in the car with, they took the case.
Aha. And still they
Yeah,
fucked with you.
from the gate.
Huh.
Before we even go to jail at the district, yo, I ain't had nothing to do with nothing here. That's mine.
They don't
They
care.
still charge me.
Damn. Okay. So you go in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
You get out in 2014. August 14th.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a picture that was posted on the day you got out.
Yeah.
This picture right here.
Rock.
And that's PnB Rock on the left.
Yeah.
An young PnB Rock.
Yeah.
So you guys have been messing with each other this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So you already knew the talent and everything else like that.
Yeah, he was up next.
He was up next.
Yeah, he was up next. They was holding Rock. My old head, man, he was like, yo, this young boy. But couldn't do nothing. Under the feds, I was paroled in Jersey and I was banned from coming to Philly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they won't let me come to Philadelphia. So the things that I wanted to do with Rock, I couldn't come to fruition, but me and Mott stayed in contact, and I think Mott did a real good job with Rock.
Did you maintain your relationship with PnB Rock over the years, or did you guys lose contact at some point?
No, me and Rock was all right. Like, before that picture that you see, I never knew him.
Oh, you met him that day?
I just heard of it, yeah. They brought this outside the prison gate. So I was like, yo, they wanted to make sure that I heard this young cat from Philly. Like,
To the point of bringing him to your first day out.
yeah.
Okay.
It was like, but I'm hearing about him when I call home. It's like, yo, we got this. You know, I'm hearing stuff over the phone. You know, I talked to Rock when I was in jail, but that was my first time physically seeing him.
Got it.
I'm like, damn.
Well, September 12th, 2022, PnB Rock and his baby mother, they go to Roscoe's in South Central,
Yeah, man.
and it all goes bad.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. When you heard the news of that, what'd you think?
I was, man, I can't say that. I was upset. I was upset. Like, I mean, I always told people, like, you gotta understand, like, I go through it so you wouldn't do it after me. Like, you don't got, it's a certain point in life that I think everybody come to where you understand that line where he's like, oh, when you starting to, embrace the role of being and understanding what a man is, like, and that don't got nothing to do with age or anything. It's just a mentality of it's a lot of things, actually. Like, and when you understand and grasp the realization that you are directly responsible for others, like family first, like you don't make those kind of decisions no more.
Yeah, I mean, look, he shouldn't have been there.
It's
I
a
know.
lot of rides. It's so many. Like,
I know where that Roscoe's is. I have never gotten out of my car to eat there. It's a dangerous area. It's literally
but coming
surrounded
from
by
where
gangs.
we come from,
Yeah, but I mean, like
Just
Roc. I mean, I forgot who I was talking to, but Roc was a dude that liked to hang out in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
what I'm saying.
He liked that.
But that's what I was about to say. But
Yeah.
like from the people, we say it now because we hear it and something tragic happened. But I understand if his mentality was to be comfortable.
Right, because you get a lot of love in those environments.
It ain't even about the love. It's about what you used to.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Like the comfortability. I know some people, you can put them in a 5-star hotel. You could put them in the suite, the presidential suite. They be cool with the Airbnb around the hood, because that's what they used to.
Look, I mean, I actually spoke to his baby mother who was there when it happened. You know, she was going to do an interview, and then the day before, we had a call scheduled just to kind of go over some things. And when she got on the phone with me, she said, I can't do this right now.
Yeah, she probably getting a lot of
said,
backlash.
I need to heal.
Yeah, I seen how people was grinding her, but that's still after the tragic things happen.
Yeah.
People never look at, that what he was. I don't know, man.
Yeah, man, it was sad.
Me, at this point, it's certain things that I would have done before or would do before or been, that I can't do that no more.
Yeah. It's a loss, man. I never got to meet him myself. I was a fan, though. I thought he was dope.
Dope.
I thought he was dope. And he was loved, and a lot of big artists fucked with him, And,
man.
The Juice WRLDs,
Roc was a cool dude.
XXXTentacion's, like all them dudes fucked with him.
Yeah, funny, man.
Well, at the end of that year, December 5th, 2014, you were in Pleasantville, New Jersey.
Yeah.
You ended up getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
From what I understand, it was like a wrong place, wrong time situation. It wasn't even meant for you.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what happened?
No, I don't know if that case still open or not. If they looking for someone.
Okay, fair enough. But you got shot.
Yeah, I got shot.
And did you drive yourself to the hospital?
No, I couldn't.
So someone drove you to the hospital.
Ambulance.
The ambulance came, took you to the hospital. Where'd you get shot?
I got shot in my back.
Damn.
I got shot twice in my back. Came out my stomach. Yeah.
I remember you did an interview.
Mm-hmm.
You said, me getting shot and somebody robbing me, negative. I'm on federal parole, so I can't get into details. But give me another 9 months, I'll tell you exactly what the deal is.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a robbery.
No. You quoting for something that happened 10 years prior. Come on, Vlad. You can't get me up here and have me.
Fair enough. But you were never charged. You were never charged with nothing.
Nah.
But you ended up getting shot, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, did you lose a lung in that shooting?
Collapsed, tore up. It bust through my joint. I was done.
Okay, so it collapsed, but you didn't lose the actual lung.
No.
Okay.
A piece of it.
A piece of it.
Yeah.
Did that affect you, like, long term?
Yeah.
So it affected, like, your vocal cords and stuff like that?
My vocals came from when I was in a coma. So when I was coming out of it, I had a breathing tube down my throat.
Ooh, damn.
So when I first woke up out the coma, I didn't know where I was at. And I yanked I pulled the breathing tube out. It caused me, so it tore up shit in my throat. And it caused me to, I had staples in my stomach. So when I was yanking, I couldn't get it. I got it out. It made me gag, and I bust all the staples in my stomach. It opened up.
Oof.
You all right, Vlad?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just.
All right. Vlad,
I feel
looking
bad
like
for you,
Weezer.
man. I feel
Why you
bad.
feel bad for me?
Man, it's some, I mean, listen, I interviewed DOC with a similar story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where he, he got drunk, passed out, crashed into a car, fucked up his whole vocal cords.
Yeah.
And then he talked about how, he was healing up, but he wanted to come back on tour. Everyone, NWA was popping. He wanted to get back. So he went and found a doctor that said that they could take out some of the scar tissue in his throat, even though all the other doctors told him not to fuck with it. And that ended up fucking up his throat even worse, to the point where it permanently, much worse than yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, I've heard this story before, a similar type of story.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it got better. It was worse than this. I couldn't talk.
Oh. Yeah.
At all. Like, I could talk. I could do the actions, but nothing would come out.
How long did it take for you to actually talk again?
Months. Yeah, like, after I got to the hospital, like, it just was weak. It was like a whisper. And I could be screaming at you, and it would only come out like... And it was hurting. It was like, took everything out, man.
That next year, 2015, the Tidal B-Sides concert.
Mm-hmm.
And you performed in that.
Yeah.
With JayZ.
And that shit fucked me up.
What do you mean?
After we did the performance, me, I was wounded. I wasn't supposed to even do that. Because my vocals was just, I wasn't supposed to do that.
Did you and Jay have a conversation before that concert?
Good question. No, I don't think so. I think the conversation was about coming to do the B-sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
But considering the history, some of the back and
We never
forth.
had the conversation like, what's up, man? What we got going on? We never had that.
You've never had that conversation, even though you performed at his concert.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
I mean, that all depends on how you look like it. Look at it.
I mean, I just assumed since you did the concert, you guys talked. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
And Jay, just the invite alone. If Jay don't fuck, he not gonna fuck with you.
Right.
So that might have been the conversation.
Oh, you're right. Listen, I had Jazzo here, about a year ago. And, they had their back and forth. But at one point, there's a picture together. You know what I'm saying? Jay will do certain things that may kind of say, okay, we're good. We don't necessarily have to have a whole powwow about it. But, I'm showing the world that we good.
Yeah, that's why I said
that's what you got. Exactly.
That might have been a conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that next year, 2016, you were doing a show in Philly.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm just thinking about the B-side night because now that you asked me that, like, it probably was a conversation that, because he asked for music and all that, but I was so twisted. Nobody knew though. Because I still had like holes in me with gauze and my adrenaline was so crazy. After I got off the stage, I had to go in the back and get my wife to like bandage because air like a low style wanted to start leaking through my shirt. Like I was still fucked up. And Jay came, I remember him coming in the room because he was looking for me. But I couldn't do it. They like, yo, come on, I can't tell me. Like, nigga, I can barely move right now.
Well, the fact that you actually performed though with all that says a lot.
Yeah, that shit.
About how much devotion you have to this shit.
Yeah,
I mean, most people have been like, sorry.
Yeah, I was wounded for that, like, for 3 weeks. Yeah.
March 7th, 2016.
Yeah.
You had a big show in Philly. Katt Williams somehow ended up on stage.
Yeah.
And when they start playing What We Do, Katt starts getting in this kind of fighting stance.
Yeah.
And you're on stage, right? Are you aware of what's starting to happen?
Nah, I don't know as to really what's going on.
Right.
Cause I'm performing. And so I figured it, I found out after the fact. Like I was performing, so I didn't know what was going on. When I did catch it, and I'm like, yo, Katt, what's up? You good? And he was like, just finish the show. What's your last song you gonna do on your set? Finish your show. Told me, yo, what we do. And right after what we do, whatever they had going on back there hit the fan. Yeah.
Yeah, he rushed a bunch of dudes and they pretty much just beat his ass right there on stage.
Yeah, they was out of pocket.
Yeah.
That's that. See, a lot of people be like, Katt was tripping or he was bugging. That wasn't the case.
What was the case?
Katt had like 3 shows or 2 or 3 shows back to back in Philly. And I had that show and Katt was came to the show. Prior to that, I've been kicking him with Katt for like 3 days. He just pulled up at the at one of the rehearsal that I was having for the show. And nigga gave me a Lambo.
Katt Williams gave you a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Just here.
Yeah, he gave it to me.
Lamborghini.
Like people was running around saying that I beat Katt out of the Lambo on a dice game. No, that wasn't it.
Lamborghini's what, about 200,000?
Yeah, pulled up. He had, I ain't gonna put it because I don't know if this person went. So he had a relationship with somebody, a mutual friend, and he was coming to the city and he was like, yo, you know, Bean's birthday is on the 6th. He doing the show on the 7th. And I think Katt had a couple shows like back to back. No, before that. He had a couple shows before that. And he was in town for like a little minute. So he come to the studio, we rehearsing, and he give me the Lambo.
So he just gave you the keys. Said yours.
Yeah, it was dialogue with it and everything. It was like, yo, I appreciate the you know, the dialogue, and he was like, yo, that's you. I'm like, nah, man, I'm cool. You know, he like, that's you. He was dead ass.
Has anyone ever given you a gift that expensive before in life?
Yeah. Way more expensive than that.
Really?
Hell yeah.
What did you get more expensive than a Lambo?
My wife, my kids.
There you go. Great answer.
My mom, like
Great answer. Great answer. Right, but you know what was crazy though is that shit happened in the Philly show where, you know, he got into it with the guys on
So
stage.
that's what happened. So he get that up, boom, so he like, yo, when your show, I'm gonna come to your show. He come to the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild you asked me that question. So he come to the show, it's my birthday. So Katt just start hitting the lid on everybody that's, you know, people that was there. Cause it was me, it's the Young Guns, a couple people else that was performing, Lil Mo performed, I forget who else. We had a couple guests. So the guy Boom from Philly that had the Pop the Perk song. Katt had told Boom that in so many words like, yo, this is around the time that song on fire. He told Boom he'd take him on a road with him.
Mm.
To do that song, he was like, yo, all you need is 2 or 3 jokes. He was like, who's your manager? He was telling him, like, you just got this, like, what you doing with it? What's going on? Like, how you moving forward in your career? Katt told him, he was like, basically, he was like, man, all you need is 2 or 3 jokes around that song you got. You could be getting $10,000, $15,000 a night. Easy, on the road. Shit, I'll give you that. The joke's right. He pointed, Katt was like, this your guy? He's like, shit, if he co-sign it, he's like, I think you got something. So he told he could do this for him. So we doing the show, and I get what's going on. While we doing the show, I introduce Katt out. Katt comes out. He doing his dance. He turned up. I never seen Katt turned up in the club, so I guess that's how he turned up. But other people looking, I'm thinking he being funny, being Katt. Boom comes on stage, and he want to turn up and out-turn up Katt Williams. So after they get on the joint, he tell him like, Katt looking at him like, what you doing? Like how you, like he really trying, he got dudes, they hyping him up. They're like you want to battle Katt on who can, why would you even do that? The man that said he'd take you on the road with him. So he giving him the look like, chill out. He's like, yo, why? He was like, I just tried to put you on, and then whoever he had with him had words with Katt, and they went back and forth. Katt asked him, is this the stance you taking? And somebody told him, yeah, we'll do this. And Katt was like, you know what? This Sigel show, I ain't come here for that. But the moment his show's over, the last song, had that same energy. I don't know if it went all in that words, but that's what I heard. Like after, it was like, no, they was fucking with Katt. Katt asked Boom, that's the stance he taking? And then one of his peoples said something to Katt. Katt was like, just let him finish his show. Let's not fuck up his, he was like, let him finish the show. And as soon as that last joint went off, that's why when you see Katt doing like this, he's pointing to the nigga that was talking shit to him, that was threatening him. He was pointing to the nigga that was threatening. And he had his cash on. He just spranked his hand and all that shit. But so now, I don't know, did you, because I don't want to say certain shit that was, because Katt was on one. He was like, nigga, y'all I ain't that dude.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And as soon as I was like, yo, I thank y'all for coming out. Da-da-da-da. Katt pointed at that nigga. And when he rocking, he's waiting for that moment. I say, yo, he was like, no, Katt told them, soon as you finish the last song, had that same energy.
And he followed through.
Yeah, he followed through.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy though?
Then they did all the goofy shit.
Yeah.
That's so, yeah. I ain't
jumping
like
on him and so forth.
Come on, man. Katt,
he's like, what, 5 feet tall?
Katt must have fucked him up. Because they said Katt hit him with the elbow, he must have clipped him. Yeah, but that was some goofy, ignorant ass shit that I ain't like that shit. So I gave Katt back his car, all that shit.
You gave him back the Lambo?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Because how could I keep that?
But that wasn't your fault.
It was on my watch,
It was
though.
on your watch.
It's on the stage that's supposed to be my stage. But that's when you get a bunch of people, then everybody want to bring somebody. You look up, turn around, 4 people on stage, but it's 30 niggas back there.
When you gave Katt the car back, how did Katt react to it?
He ain't want it back.
Oh, he didn't want it back.
It was like, I gave that to you. We was cool after that. It just wasn't sitting right with me.
Yeah.
Because I did a couple dates with Katt, came out performed, and I was like, I can't do it.
Integrity. You don't see it too often these days.
I couldn't do that.
Because what's crazy is that 2 weeks later, Katt ends up getting into a fight with a kid.
Yeah.
And the kid kind of got one up on him, got him in a headlock.
Katt seen something in that kid that everybody else ain't see. And then it played out.
Yeah,
I don't think he would have jumped on it because out living in Pleasantville, like Katt came to the crib with his 12. He had the 12 ball. We was about to go out and do these dates. Shit, I watched Katt give away $200,000 on the block. In the neighborhood, just going knocking on doors and 10,000.
He would knock on people's doors and just give them money.
He knocked. I'm telling you what I saw.
Ran people he did not know. That's crazy. Wow.
I saw this.
You never heard about that. I've never heard about this. And I
Yeah.
and I you know, I know a lot of shit. This is my job to know.
This.
Yo,
Katt
that's
had
wild.
a black briefcase. You know how people, like, he really had that shit on his bus.
So you just
He had
knock
these
on the
big
door.
ass-
Hi, I'm Katt Williams. Here's 10,000.
No, it was like he pulled up. He had the buses. He was like, yo, you rolled him through this show. We gotta hurry up. We gotta get to New York. I got the Lambo, but the way that I put it on right next to the spot in the grass, but it rained for like 2 days. So with them tires spinning, it took a minute to get the car like off the side of the house where I had it at.
Mm-hmm.
So in the mix of us doing all this, Katt bring these 2 big ass dogs off the tour bus and he start walking the dogs. I guess the dogs got pissy walking them. Then one neighbor spotted him. So now I'm going up the joint. Don't come down here with that. Like, y'all stay up there. So Katt, one lady came up this house and was like, oh, okay. He was asking her, was she all right? This, that, and the third. She was like, no, I ain't all right. I got to get this, that, and that done. And to my house and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, she said something about how she liked the Katt coat. He came right out the joint, full-length mink. Like him and all the security had mink coats. He made them take off their coats. He took off his coat, gave it to her. Somebody else came up, and then he was like, oh, he took the dogs, put them back on the bus, ran back on the bus, came out with a briefcase and gave the lady the money. He came back to the spot. Now people coming out, different houses and all that. He got the briefcase, went in there, put the money in his pocket, in his hoodie. And I believe, if not both of them, one of them big niggas took they coat off. He gave it to somebody. This was giving the money. Now I know what money is. 10. He talking to me. He look, get our money. He go down the joint. He inquiring on houses. He trying to buy 3 houses on the block. He walk back up the block, go that way. By the time he came back, he had no money on. That was like 200. Easy, if not more.
That's the people's champ right there, man.
They talk about that shit to this day.
That's crazy.
And I ain't lived out there in forever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he did that. And was rushing me like, hurry up. Because we was going to leave the car, get on a bus. He was wound up like, I got to get there. Pulled the bus, we hauled ass, and then he drove behind us with the car. Then after the show, I just had my phone. He was like, yo, how you going to drive? I was like, nah, that's how I get the car back. I never took it back. I just drove back with my people.
Well, that same year, 2016, Meek Mill and Game started their beef with each other.
Yeah.
Meek Mill dropped a Game diss song featuring you and O'Malley called Ooh.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't. Go ahead.
Well, there was, I guess, an interview where you said that you wrote some of Meek's lyrics.
Yeah. I helped him and O'Malley.
Right.
The reason that they say I was featured on it, stuff that I was, helping O'Malley out with, he couldn't get the flow down right, so I had to go in the booth. I had to spit it and just try to rap over top of it.
Do a reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't want to talk about that shit.
So you don't want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's
okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, everything that you about to read, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
I'm all right with Meek. I'm all right with Game.
And Tiffy Bay said that you guys are good as well.
You got no choice to be good.
There we have it.
We all right.
There we have it. Me personally, I thought it was some bullshit.
There's a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
A lot of bullshit.
Do you remember the Breakfast Club interview? You got kind of upset at Charlamagne over that shit.
Yeah, Charlamagne crazy, man. Charlamagne a nut.
Did you guys ever talk afterwards?
Right after the show. We went in the hallway and kicked it. So you gotta get out on Charlamagne before you get out on you.
Yeah, I've known Charlamagne since day one.
Yeah,
me and Charlamagne
crazy
go back
as shit.
20 years. In 2021, you said that Kanye owes you $50 million and 5%.
I never said he owed me shit. Kanye went on Drink Champs. They said he owed me money. He was looking for me.
Okay, Kanye said it first. My bad, I got it mixed up.
I never said Kanye owed me $1.
Okay, why did he say that he owed you that money? Was it your idea for him to start do the fashion shit, or?
Nah. He said he owed me some money for giving him the name Yeezy.
Oh, you came up with that name?
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just want to point out the story that we went over in our last interview.
Yeah.
When Kanye was at the diner with his jewelry out and there was a bunch of dudes around that were getting ready to rob him.
Yeah.
You showed up and shut all that shit down. You sat down and said, pull your chain out. You ain't got to tuck that in. You're good.
Yeah, but I don't think it went all aggressively how Choke No Joke put it out there.
Well, no, I did an interview with you about it.
Yeah, I know. I talked
Yeah.
to you about it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but I did tell, but it wasn't like, pull your chain out. Yeah, fuck. It's like, no, you don't got to tuck your chain in.
Right.
Them niggas ain't.
I mean, when you look at where Kanye is right now,
Yeah.
from being on top of the world, being a billionaire, to going off on this rant and losing all his major deals and so forth. This is someone who, you really introduced him as a producer on your debut album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could have worked with whoever
Yeah.
at that time. You were hot to death, but you chose to have him do the first track on your album.
Yeah. She did a lot of state property shit. Like,
Exactly. Did you guys ever rap together?
yeah, Kanye, you want the song that I was just playing to you that we did for Leah, Kanye on that record and the
Okay.
Free Guy records, he on hooks.
Hooks,
On
yeah.
a couple records. At that time when Kanye was, I think Kanye thought that we really wasn't rocking with him like that. But we was, like, with State Property, he did a lot of music for us first before it got to the Blueprint.
Hmm.
Like, that's when people like, all right, this Kanye, the Blueprint, hey man, but yeah. We already knew Kanye could rap.
Yeah.
That's when we would hear it in the studio with us, with our sessions. That was Yeezy. Well, that was Ye.
Yeah.
Then it went to was Kanye. Then it was this Ye. Then it went to Kanye. Then it was this Yeezy.
Yeah. When you see where he is right now,
Yeah.
not in the best place, unfortunately. Lost a deal with Adidas and so forth. Based on what you know about him and the history, how do you feel about it?
I don't know. I think Kanye know what he be doing.
Really?
Yeah. He might got a I think he get caught up in the way he love what he doing, and I don't know. He the sacrificial lamb. I know Kanye said a lot of stuff that other people feel and think, but they dare not to say it. They dare not to say it. I just hope everything work out for him.
Have you guys talked in the recent past?
Far as
Just phone call,
nah,
into
not
each
since
other,
after.
seen each other, anything?
Yeah, like I was out there with Kali Woody for a little bit. We discussed on what we was going to do to work out a situation that he wanted to work out with me. the quote unquote 50 million. Yeah, but Ye never said that, put that number on there. He just said we know what we discussed and what he was about to do. And it wasn't 50 million, but it had the potential to be 50 million and more.
So did he actually break you off something, or it was just conversation?
I know that's what this interview is about, Vlad. The Ye break.
The Ye is very much a side note in this conversation.
Okay.
Very much a side note.
Not all I hear everything. Yo, so what? Yo, people crazy. Nah, but what we discussed that we was gonna do, we can no longer do that as of yet. We can do it, but it wouldn't be attached to a situation that we was about to do. So, like, I ain't even on that. I wouldn't even like, yeah, what's up? Where that thing at? You know what I mean? I ain't hype with that. I ain't doing that, man. He got a lot. He got a lot that I believe that he need to focus on before even thinking about a Beanie Sigel.
No, listen. Recently, they actually reached out to us for us to do an interview with Kanye.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my plan is once he came in the room was to say, I don't want to talk about religion, politics, whatever. I want to talk about your work, like your musical catalog and your accomplishments. And I just want to leave all the fuck shit that's been going on recently to the side. But they ended up canceling the interview before it happened with me and a bunch of other people. Like they're supposed to do No Jumper as well, and they canceled everything. Now, I don't know if I would have actually been able to pull that off, knowing Kanye.
Kanye gonna drive his own car.
Yeah, Kanye drives his own car, exactly. So my thing was like, well, I at least got to give, because I actually interviewed Kanye back in 2005, I think. He was in the studio with Common.
Yeah.
This was right when Slow Jams, he played Slow Jams for me in the studio. Through the Wire was already out. It was a moderate hit, but Slow Jams was his first legitimate hit, I felt. You know what I'm saying? And he played that for me in the studio for the first time before it came out. And I was like, yo, shit, this is about to be big. And I clearly remember the Kanye you see today was the Kanye I met in 2004.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he would say like outlandish things. Not so much insulting things, but just he was so confident in himself.
Yeah, that's why I said Kanye was Kanye.
Exactly.
I think when you get to a certain point, they say money change you.
It does.
It also changes the people around you.
True.
And when you got so many people that's on your payroll, it's hard to get honesty from them.
True.
Kanye needs somebody around him that's going to tell him, shut the fuck up. Like, chill out, bro. And he got to be able to accept that. And he needs somebody that don't care about his money.
Exactly.
Like, chill out, yo. We ain't going to do that. That real money. Like, yeah, all right, all that's cool, but don't fuck the bag up. Chill out.
Look, I just interviewed Smokey Robinson. And we were talking about Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And I said, did you speak to Michael Jackson, leading up to his death? He said, no. Michael Jackson separated himself from everyone that told him no. Everyone that was going to keep it 100 with him, all the Motown people and, all those people, Michael Jackson said, I don't want to talk to none of these people.
Michael had lost contact with everyone who would say no to him.
Really? What do you mean by that?
I mean by that, especially when he was with Motown, there were people that would say, no. No, that's not right. No, you can't do that. No, you can't have this. And he had that. But then he got to the point where he divorced himself from everyone who would say no to him, including his family. He was just doing whatever he was doing, doing his life, and he just was, And so he got away from anyone who would correct him. You know what I mean? So I had no contact with him at that point, but it broke my heart.
Let me put a doctor in my fucking house that's going to give me propofol.
Yeah,
which
that
is
was
insane.
Crazy. And they fuck with me for drinking a little bit of lean.
Yeah.
Mike was getting the IV drip.
Yeah. Insanity.
Life was hot in a motherfucker. Damn.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. People at that
Yo.
level. And Kanye was at a Michael Jackson level. I mean, still is, really.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you get to this level and you get rid of everyone that tells you no. You got a bunch of people that will say yes to any outlandish fucking thing.
See, that's the thing. Do you want the people around you to tell you no?
No, you do not.
Yeah, a lot of people, they don't want to, who is you to tell them? Yeah, I look at his interviews. It's there. If you want, you let somebody talk long enough, they gonna tell you it's all there. Yeah, Kanye said he Dame Dash with money.
Well, you had an interview. You said something that hit close to home with me. You said, Ab took a page out of my book when it comes to when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah. He came up here and started going crazy.
Right.
Talking about all kind of shit.
But
that's why you make me nervous.
Right.
Man.
But all the shit that
I'm just
all the shit. No, it's cool.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. I'll address all that. All the shit that Ab said in our interview.
Yeah.
None of that had to do with this case at all. None of it was brought up. None of it. Ab had a certified snitch in his camp.
Yeah.
Who testified against everybody. And the really, really sad part about what happened to Ab, and Ab is my man, Darklow is my man. They'd been up here. I remember Swizz Beatz called me one day and said, hey, yo, I got this rapper in Philly. He's crazy. Can you please interview him? And I'm like, yo, yeah, Swizz, you my man. Of course, I got you.
Yeah.
And then I became a fan. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
AR.
Ab was a beast in fucking Philly. Like he was,
shit, not just in Philly.
Period.
Like got ties like in Detroit, Chicago. Yo, Ab was strong out there. He just ain't know it.
He didn't know it.
Like the street niggas out there, they call Ab. They was calling him Baby Beans.
Yeah, I could see that. He reminds me
I got
of you.
I got some dudes out there that love. They be like, yo, when Ab would drop something, they'll call me, get your son. Your son going crazy. And I'm like, whoa. It was like, yeah, Ab. Like, that's how they had joke around. It was like, no.
Man,
that gotta be Max. He related to, like, that's baby Max. They go crazy over
that. One of your dad's kids that you don't know about.
They don't want to, man. They straight ARN.
Here's the fucked up part about what happened to Ab. I remember I brought in this dude Mo Gangat. He's a lawyer out here, and I bring him in to kind of explain cases on a legal level and so forth. And we talked about the Ab case, and he said this is the part that really was fucked up. Ab had already been found guilty.
Mm-hmm.
When he went to the sentencing, he sat there and just was so angry and was scowling at the judge and everything else like that the judge in his sentencing said, I see the way you're looking at me and so forth, and you clearly don't, in so many words, you don't take this seriously in whatever 45 years. I remember Mo Ganga said that if that was his client, when he started to see it, he would ask for a recess, pull him outside and be like, yo, listen, I know you're pissed off right now. I know this is fucked up, but just
shit, my lawyer did that to
10
me.
minutes, just bear through it, smile, be polite, because this is going to affect the rest of your life. But you got this petty ass fucking judge who's getting insulted based on a man who's
body language and all that
all that shit.
I was leaning back on my track, man. My lawyer kicked me at my ankle so hard under that track. I was good. He was like, yo, I remember he was like, yo, come to court, you better not bring another fucking cigar, I don't give a fuck about it. Tell them, don't they light it? Yeah, it was going crazy. It was like, yo. Then he was like, yo, you tripping. Like, yeah, I understand it, but yeah, man. Like, I'm just mad because I really think Ab was about to be.
Yeah,
like,
I agree. I agree. And like, to everyone who's watching this, if you're going through some legal shit, please listen to your lawyer. Do not let things play out on social media. Everyone could be on your side on social media and you will be found guilty in a court of law.
They don't care.
Someone I know who I'm very close to was begging me to do an interview about his open case. And I said, let me talk to your lawyer first. The lawyer said, please, he said, yo, this man could do whatever he wants, but this is such a bad idea. And I had to tell him, like, no, I'm not going to do it. If you want to do it with someone else, go ahead, but I'm not going to do this interview with you because this is going to hurt you. This is going to end up in the courtroom, and you may think that you're carefully saying shit, but something in this interview might really hurt you once this trial starts. So I'm not going to do it. I've always turned down talking about open cases and people in prison and stuff like that.
But then some people, Vlad, like, I know I've been fucking with you about, come on, it be on them. They be caught up in their own movie.
Yeah.
Like in life.
A lot of people want to win on social media and end up losing in court. Like, that's what happened to Tory Lanez, I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like as an example, right?
Yeah.
As a perfect example of this. When Tory Lanez got to court,
yeah,
his defense was Tory didn't shoot Megan, Kelsey shot Megan, right? That was his defense to try to get out of this shooting incident. On social media, someone, like a random person on the Shade Room said Kelsey shot Megan. He responded with his verified account, no, she didn't. That was given to the jury. It undermined his whole defense. His own words to try to argue with a random person on social media ended up becoming an exhibit in his own shooting trial, and now he's facing 23 years after being found guilty. Do you see how one comment on social media?
People listen to the peanut gallery.
Right. And let me tell you that leading up to that case, every poll I did on my Twitter with tens of thousands of votes, everyone was saying he's not guilty. Everyone was saying he's going to walk free.
Yeah.
That jury don't give a fuck what social media thinks.
None of that. They do and they don't.
None of that. You didn't have social media back in your day.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
Yo. Oh, my goodness.
You got to pray for a second there, right?
What? Man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You actually said jail's for suckers. It's no place for a human being.
It is. Like, I don't understand how people look at that. Like, it's a badge of honor. Like, and be responsible for other people out here.
Yeah.
Like, it is for suckers. Nobody in jail wants to be in jail.
Right.
Especially going to jail over some, like, nobody wants to be in jail. There's some people, like, all right, I gotta be here. You went to jail because you stood on morals and principles behind something, and you know, like, this might be the outcome, and you ready to, all right, you go out on your shield. But to go to jail on some weird time?
Well, and you're somewhat one of the lucky ones, because when you get out of jail or prison, you have a career. You could do shows, you could do features, you could record albums. The average felon that gets out cannot rent an apartment, is going to have a hard time finding a job.
Yeah.
It's for a felony. Me and Tony Yayo were talking about this the other day. A felony is a forever punishment.
Oh, no, yeah, that's forever.
So suddenly now you're out. You can't get hired. You can't get an apartment. You probably got to go live with a female who has her own apartment. She can kick you out at any moment, so you don't feel like a man. You can't get legal work, so you start dibbling and dabbling in some semi-legal shit. Next thing you know, you're right back, and the cycle continues. Man, like I said, you're one of the lucky ones because you could make a real income.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could make legal money. You could pay your taxes. 99% of the people in your position with a felony on their record are not in your
Section 8 bandits.
Exactly. You said something interesting also. You said, we rappers were the era of the drug dealer. Now it's the era of the drug user.
Facts. I see it. We emulated the drug dealer because he was the one with the flashy car and jewels, and that's what we emulated. The drug dealer, like the hustle, everything about the drug, the hustle, the crime, who didn't punch the clock or 9 to 5. Like you hustle. This the era of the drug. Yo, I can't, and I'm guilty. I did a song called, Can't Blow My Eye, but it wasn't to this. They on all kind of shit.
Well, now, you were around during the pill era is and now we're in the fentanyl era, which is a whole other fucking beast. Yeah. Gangster Boo was my friend. She had been in my home.
Yeah.
She just died at age 40, 41. You know what I'm saying? Big Scar from Memphis, 22 years old, dead.
Yeah. It ain't that much in the world to me.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Did
Not
you,
a guy.
you talked about how even leading, our last interview with the whole lean use, you had been doing it the whole time. Did you finally kick at one point, and what led you to kicking?
It's just it get old. It get old after a while.
Yeah.
Like I don't smoke weed.
Oh, okay. I still smoke.
Like I used to.
Asterisk.
Yeah. Like every now and then
I smoke weed every day.
I thought that I would never be able to go a day without smoking weed. After a while, it's just like.
Yeah.
Then a lot. It'd be a social thing. I believe if I was socially involved with some of the people that I was involved with, I'd still be smoking. Cause
yeah,
you're gonna be on who your companion is, who you be with.
Yeah, that leads me to another quote. You said that rap life is like living a fantasy. I missed out on a lot of family being rappers.
It is.
It's true, man. I've gotten accused of this by my family.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard get off that DJ Vlad shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Vlad's above me.
Listen.
You have a family. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard this from my own family, so I could relate. You get caught up though in the fame and the fans and the views, the likes.
Check this out. Say you don't get caught up in none of that. This is such a strenuous business. It's all it is time. Even if you're not caught up into the views, the likes and the fame, the cars and all, fuck all that. You don't even gotta be caught up. You could do what you do and go home. But what you do it gotta bring you here for not a regular 8 hours. You might be doing what you do for 16 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
You could do it for 12 hours a day, but depending on what 12 you use, you're not going to be there when they go to school or when they come home. You might be there when they home, but they getting ready for bed. Now they sleep.
Mm-hmm.
By the time they wake up, because you done got up, you out the house, starting your day again. They don't see you because now they in school or any after program they in. It's time more than anything.
True. Yeah. And you have 11 kids now.
Yeah, time don't wait for nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I remember there was Akon did an interview and he was like, he said, I don't go to every recital. He got a bunch of kids. I think he has 11 or 12 kids. Mm-hmm. He goes, yeah, that's that white man shit. I don't go to every school recital, every school play, whatever. I'm just there to make sure my kids are good people, take care of their mother and everything else like that. I remember I mentioned this to Life Jennings, who's got a bunch of kids as well. He goes, they gonna remember those missed recitals.
Yeah.
You can say all that. That sounds good, but those kids are gonna remember every time you don't show up.
Check this out. If you got 11 kids, right? And you ain't had them 11 kids back to back to back every year, your oldest kid is always going to look at how you treat. Children look at each other. They look at you and each other. So it might be times where you might be just getting it together in the middle.
Yeah.
Them older kids is going to be like, dang, he never do that with us.
Yeah.
We had kids by different women.
Mhm.
As much as you want to pull them together, it's going to always be a comparison. Even in a noise, it could be 3 of y'all. Get out of here, you're his favorite. She's your favorite. Now, I had them kids, and there's a lot of them. Like, damn. And let them get a chance to group up. Well, he did, he ain't never do that with us. He ain't never do, like, all that stuff. I don't care what you say. Any man that's on it, yo, the worst thing for a man, to me, is dying alone.
Mm.
And what I mean by that, dying alone, I don't give a, you can have all the accolades and all that, but when it's time to tap out, and the ones that you really want to be there ain't there, you can have this whole fake thing over here.
Yeah.
You dying alone. You dying by yourself because you don't got the people that you want there with you. Nobody for a man. Man don't want to check out knowing his kids don't rock with him.
Yeah.
We ain't talking about a girl from the dying on your children who you brought in this world. You about to go out of here. They still living. You know they gonna carry on how they felt about you. Through the, man, you don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want that. Don't nobody wanna sing Daddy Where You Been.
Yeah.
No.
Beanie, man, I've been a fan since day one.
Yeah.
You could tell by this interview.
Appreciate it.
I've
Yeah.
been rocking with
You
you.
on point. You know the whole, I do a movie on my life.
That's
I'm at to
right.
call Vlad.
Hey, man, listen.
Hey, Vlad. In 2001,
What happened?
right before, what was I doing?
What was I doing?
Well, Vlad said, we did, you run it down.
Oh, man, listen, I mean, the interview I did with Michelle A. turned into her Lifetime movie. They literally, damn near scene for scene was our interview, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, this happens all the time with our
Walking
interviews.
almanac.
Yeah, well, because I feel like not everyone is going to get a big Netflix documentary about their life. But a lot of people have gotten VladTV interviews about their life. John Witherspoon.
Yeah.
You know, people like who I really admire, you
Yeah.
know, like people who are, you know, a hero to me that may not have gotten the budget, that don't have this huge fan base that could justify a $10 million documentary where they got licensed music and movies and everything else like that. But I feel like it's important to tell people's story in this era because there's so many important people, and you are one of those people, man. I've always felt like you were one of the greatest. You know, I felt that as soon as I heard you spit, was like, it was just undeniable how good you were. And it wasn't like, hip hop has this thing about style, that there's always a new style which sort of eclipses, you know, that always draws the spotlight at that very moment. Right. But then at one point that style becomes, you know, mumble rap was a thing at one point and now no one really fucks with it. You know what I mean? But with you, it wasn't about the style. It was about the lyrics and the substance.
Yeah.
And I think that this is why 20 something years later, people are still, you know, listening to Beanie Sigel. You have classics.
They keep finding new stuff.
Yeah. There's classics under your belt,
Yeah.
man. There's timeless music. What you said 20 years ago still relates in 2023. You know, standout performances, man. You were on songs with everyone. You know, you never ducked a feature, you know, whether it was Jay or Nas or Scarface.
I ain't get one of them under my belt. That Nas. Nas back like he 20.
Well, you had a song with Nas.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
but that's Puff record.
You
I'm
still,
talking about
you still had a
being in
song
the-
with Nas.
Being in the studio with Nas, like.
Okay, you
let's
weren't in the
make this
studio when
record.
that happened.
Or if it's not just us doing that record. Our record.
Well, you said you wanted to do a project with Nas.
Yeah, I would have. I did say that?
You did say that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I
I'll
would
do
love
a
to see that.
project.
Beanie, now I still want to see the Scarface album.
Yeah.
You know, both of y'all have gone through some.
I mean, that's
ups
dope
and
that
downs
people
over the
still
years.
want to hear that. That's when you know it's like you did because I get it every day. Come on, man.
Y'all got classic songs together.
Yeah, it's like when people start asking, they went from when you gonna drop something to like, all right, yo, just you gotta give us one more.
Yeah.
That's what I get right now. Just give us one more. Just one more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beanie Sigel, man, truly an honor to really sit down with you and do a proper interview for our first time. This is our second interview, but this is our first proper, sit down, no holds barred interview, man. I truly appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
And I wish you and your kids and your family and loved ones only the best.
I appreciate that. Next interview, we gotta do it with the gang.
Let's do it.
Let's do one with the gang.
Let's do it. Peace.